Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store in Richland. Now's the best time of the year to save more with Mahindra, and it all starts with zero. Pay zero down and 0% interest up to 60 months. That's more for less on many of Mahindra's best-selling models, with tractors that deliver more lift, capacity, fuel efficiency, and built-in weight. So get zero down, 0% interest for up to 60 months on Mahindra, the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra, available at the Tractor Store in Richland.
Now to the Mississippi State locker room, where Cameron Matthews doing a big day for him with 19 points in the NIT championship. Cameron, I know you wanted a different result today, but as a young guy on this team who has benefited now from 4 additional games in the postseason, where your season's been on the line in every one, what did you learn from this experience?
I just learned that I just got to be more aggressive when I'm playing, because my coaches tell me I'm a little too passive. So they just want me to stay aggressive when I'm in.
I don't think you were passive today, certainly not on the offensive end with those 19 points. How did you do it against a pretty stingy defense?
At first, they were just leaving me open, and I just got a feel for the game, started making shots. And in the second half, I just got my way driving to the rim, making free throws.
You and Deivon carried a lot of the offensive load today. Deivon had 17, you had 19, and you're two guys who have been adjusting to the game at this level. How much better would you say the two of you are? And for that fact, Derek Fountain, all the freshmen on this team, how much better are you guys now than you were at the start of the year?
All of us got a lot better. I know for myself, coaches did a great job just helping me work on my game. Coach Howland, Coach Corey, Coach Ben, Coach Ziegler, everybody, staff, they just been working on my game all year and starting to show off.
Showed up at the free throw line today. I could see improvement there. And how much – I know Coach Howland is a big stickler when it comes to free throws. How much have you been working on that for it to pay off for you today?
Like every day, like literally every day.
Well, hey, do you feel like you got some momentum? It looks like this team's got momentum going into a new season. Does it feel that way even though this one stings a little today?
Yes, sir. I feel next year when we get total back, which is unfortunate, we're going to be a lot better together as a group. We're going to have more chemistry.
Cameron, thank you. Appreciate the time. I'm going to let everybody else talk to you, okay?
All right.
We'll go ahead with Paul.
Cam, you mentioned about having a lot of open looks. Obviously, they were spending a lot of attention and focus on DJ and Iverson. From your standpoint, being on the court, what were they doing to keep DJ and Iverson from getting good looks?
At first, they were just like in really hard denial, and then in the second half, they went to a triangle and 2, which was like don't let them see anything, like no daylight at all. So it just gave me and my teammates more room to work.
What do you think the biggest thing is come along with your shot? Obviously, the shot was falling today, and you've been shooting better. What's been the biggest change for you in that area?
Just following straight on my follow through.
We'll go ahead with Garrick.
Hey, Cam, I know you know a lot of those guys over there on the other side with Memphis. Did having some familiarity with them coming in kind of maybe give you some extra motivation to go out there and show what you can do today?
Yeah, they got me going pretty early with the chirping, but other than that, it was just a regular game.
In to visit with us, the other freshman that had a big day offensively for Mississippi State. Deivon, 17 points today, and throughout this tournament we've talked about how it's been Iverson and DJ who have kind of led offensively, and you've been in that supporting role without Tolu. Today you had to take on more of a leadership role there. How did your mentality have to change in this game?
We was down early, our heads was down. We were down 13-0, I think. So I just wanted to be that spark off the bench as usual, pick my team up and lead because, we were a little frustrated earlier. So I think I did a good job of that.
The thing I'm most impressed with the way that you played today, just looking at the stats, you played against a really aggressive defense and you didn't have a turnover in 34 minutes today. What's the challenge that Memphis presents in the way that they defend in the full court?
My whole life I've been playing pretty much fast paced, so I feel like it was my game today. So it showed, because I'm a real fast player, athlete. I like to get downhill a lot. So I feel like with them pressing me, it was easier for me to get my teammates open and create for myself.
Yeah, Coach Allen talked about the need to make them pay for pressing. If they're going to commit numbers up the floor, you've got to stay aggressive and do that. Were there times where it just was guys were playing so fast it was hard to do that, or what was it that kept you from getting any kind of half-court offense rhythm today?
It was, they was in like a boxing one, doubling DJ and Iverson, so it was kind of hard to get into our sets and plays. So we kind of ran a little drag screens, and more just to get other people open. That's how Cam ended up hitting big shots. He had a real good game.
I asked Cam this question, and I'll ask you too. You guys really benefited from having these 4 additional games in the postseason and the practice time and all that comes with that, not to mention the on-court experience. How much better do you feel like this freshman group has gotten from day one now to the final day of the season?
I feel like we learned a lot from the beginning of the season. I feel like our chemistry picked up. We just stayed down, learned from the coaches, and just kept our head in it. And everybody, even Derek, is just starting to pay off. Everybody's getting better along as the season is progressing.
Deivon, thank you. I'll let everybody else talk to you.
Thank you.
Go ahead with Garrick.
Hey, Deivon. Kind of going into the offseason now from an individual standpoint, what aspect of your game do you really want to most improve going into next year?
And keep improving my shot, getting more downhill, finishing more. I didn't really shoot that well from the free throw line this season, as I usually do. So I need to light back in on free throws and capitalize on those points, easy buckets.
Paul.
Heyvon, obviously you guys faced a lot of adversity in the postseason with Tolu being out and today with DJ and Iverson having off games. How much does that help, though, with so many guys like yourself and Cam stepping up and providing that production off the bench?
I feel like it just gives us more confidence. The season's over, but going into next season, we just have the confidence because we know what we're capable of, even without them and with them. So I feel like it'll improve the team way more.
We'll go ahead to Gary Graves.
Yeah, you all did a good job in overcoming that early deficit and tying the game. But what happened, I guess, in those early minutes of the second half where it kind of went back towards Memphis's way? Was it just a matter of them switching up defenses, or what really affected you all?
They just came out and hit shots. That's all I can say. They just hit shots.
Coach, what was it? Obviously, you guys did a great job getting back in the game at halftime, but in the second half, what was it that Memphis was doing to get more looks from three?
You know what? I thought that they changed the way they were playing. The first half, we got off to a horrific start, as you witnessed, down 13-0. I'm really proud of the way the guys fought back to tie the game up at halftime. Just a lot of effort by our guys to fight back. I thought when we got Deivon in the game, he handled their press really well, and they couldn't press him, so he was able to dribble through it. So they decided when I started in the second half, I guess, to take it off. But they were really physical with us defensively. I thought they did a great job defending us in the half court in the second half. And you look at it, we shot for the game, we shot only 38%. And, our 2 leading scorers that, have been terrific all year long ended up only 3 for 17. We're not going to win many games when both Iverson and DJ combined going 3 for 17. I thought Cam Matthews really played hard today and showed a lot of heart and a lot of intensity and really competed. Deivon was terrific today, did a lot of good things for us, and played without getting a turnover in a game where they were being pressed a lot in the first half. But, they're a very good team. You look at Memphis, very, very talented. I thought that Williams started to take advantage of us early in that second half. Boogie Ellis was great all day long. He ends up with 23 points and, did a really nice job. But their defense created some offense for them because they got out in transition, got some easy looks.
Go ahead, Neil.
I can't hear you, Neil.
No, you can't. Sorry. I talked to the two freshmen when they came in just about where they felt like they had grown and how they benefited from this experience. When you look at those young guys and the way they stepped up, where do you think they maybe turned a corner or built some momentum for next season?
Well, this was a really good finish for our season in terms of being in the NIT and playing 4 games against 4 very good teams. Ultimately, it was disappointing to lose in the finals. We had a chance to win the NIT championship, but I'm very proud of our team. All the adversity. I mean, we played, today again without Tolu for the 3rd game in a row, who tested negative again for the 5th straight day for COVID. So again, he's out for the letter of the law. He's fine. He doesn't have COVID. That being said, the year had its ups and downs, but I thought our guys kept fighting all the way through it. And we had some guys that had terrific years, notably, DJ and Iverson were phenomenal all year long. I thought, Abdul was his normal tough self. But those freshmen played 91 minutes today. When you're talking about Deivon, Cameron, and Derek, and that's huge to get that kind of experience at this high level of a contest and game and a tournament. So, I think they definitely gained a lot, not only during the NIT, but just the whole year. I mean, best thing about freshmen, they become sophomores. And, they'll have gained a lot, and now they understand what this is about. I mean, now they've seen it up close and personal, starting all the way back in June and now ending almost in April. So it was a long year when you look at it like that. We're April, May, and then we're back to where we started again. So it's really been 10 straight months almost of nonstop focus on basketball.
You use that word fight a couple of times. That's been a theme with these guys going back to February 20th when they started this great run to end the season. And when you've got guys who have that ingrained in them and you don't have to coach that, how much does it help you when you start to look ahead to next year and you're looking at what this team's ceiling could be a year from now?
Yeah, I'm excited about next year. I mean, we have a lot returning. We think we're going to add a lot, which is key for us, recruiting now. But I'm thrilled about next year, and I think that all the experience these kids gain will really benefit us going into next year.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead with Garrick.
Ben, wanted to ask about Anderson Garcia. Had that steal and that layup there to tie the game at the half. What kind of improvements has he made, and kind of just how has this season kind of gone for you?
I'll tell you what, nobody in our program plays harder than Anderson Garcia. And he's pound for pound our best rebounder. Every day in practice now, when he's had a chance to be in that top 10 rotation, he's led us in rebounding. So he has a lot of fight and is a great kid. And I'm proud of how he's handled the entire season, not playing as much as obviously he wanted to play, but continuing to improve and get better. And he's one of our best defenders. So, he has a bright future in his basketball career for sure.
We'll go ahead to Carter Hill.
Yeah, Coach, congratulations on a fantastic season. You kind of talked about it a little bit earlier with momentum heading to next season, but how much fuel does this loss give you to get into the NCAA tournament this season, especially with how you performed in this tournament? And if you can kind of talk about what's your plan over the next few weeks, just kind of take a little bit off, recruit.
We end school, I believe, 16th is the last day of classes of April. So we won't be doing any basketball activity between now and then. It's, only 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And it's been such a long year. I'm giving these guys a break. I think they may get back in the weight room. I'll discuss that with Colin. Maybe that last week before we go into finals. We'll see. That'll be his area. But, the guys will get a chance to go home and get a nice break. And, we'll have them back here and we'll get back to work in June, and we're looking forward to that. But no question, the whole purpose for me of the opportunity to play in this NIT and do so well was to lead into next year and get us back in the NCAA tournament where we want to be, where I thought we were going to be a year ago when our season was disrupted by the COVID thing at the very end, being a double-bye top 4 seed in the SEC tournament going in, and right there on the bubble where I thought we were going to get ourselves in. But that being said, that's always the goal. And we're pulling now for the 2 SEC teams that remain. I don't know what time Alabama plays today. But, Arkansas had a great win yesterday, and we want the SEC to do well.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead to Gary Graves.
Hey, Coach, if you could talk a little bit about kind of the swings and momentum. I mean, you overcame a 13-0 deficit to tie at halftime. And what were your thoughts coming out of the break, what you wanted to do, and I guess what happened when they started to pull away?
Bottom line is when we started second half, I wanted us to get off to a good start because of how poorly we started the first half. And it really didn't happen for us. We struggled to score again to start the second half. And we struggled to get stops. So that really, allowed them to break open there and get a 6-8 point lead going on us. And, again, give them credit. I mean, I think they're a really well coached, very talented group. When you look at, their balance in the scoring, they had 4 guys in double figures, really play hard and do a great job on the glass. They've got, a lot of physicality. So I give Memphis a ton of credit there. They could definitely, compete in our league night in, night out and do very well.
We'll wrap it up with Joel Coleman.
Couple things real quick, Ben. One, I know Abdul went through senior day and things. Is there any chance at all that he would return next year?
That's something we'll discuss. I'm not sure at this point, but every kid in our program gets another year if they want to use it to come back as seniors or like all our freshmen are freshmen again in terms of eligibility. Everybody, gets their year back, which is, quite a thing.
And I guess kind of put a lid on it, Ben. This year, I don't know if you look at it like this, but, a lot of fans would look at this season as you guys lost your top 4 scorers. You get all the way to the NIT championship game. If I'd have offered you that back, I guess, in October, November, I know you would rather have been in the big dance, but is this kind of I don't know if acceptable is the right word. Are you pleased, I guess, with how things turned out, given the obstacles you all had to kind of overcome?
Yeah, I think the adversity of the season, starting with COVID ending last year's season, and then losing guys that, we didn't expect we were going to necessarily lose. I didn't see Nick Weatherspoon not returning for his senior year, and I honestly didn't think Robert Woodard would end up going. I thought he'd come back another year, and it worked out well for him. He's got a good guarantee in terms of the money. And then we lost, 2 really good players in Reggie and Tyson. But I thought our guys really did a great job this year, and I'm so proud of them and so proud of their effort, their togetherness, their coachability, the improvements we made from where we started against Liberty and Clemson to, the end of the season. We ended up beating Kentucky for the first time in I think, 10 or 12 years in the SEC tournament. We had some really nice wins against very good Florida, Missouri. I thought our Ole Miss win on the road was a huge win for us after the loss to them at home. And then coming to this tournament, Joel, and playing against 3 really good teams leading up to today. And I knew this game would be hard today because we're playing not that many guys. We're shorthanded and playing back-to-back days where we ended yesterday around, 4:30 and we got to play at 11 a.m. the next day. Obviously, I'd have preferred to have a day in between, but, that's not in the cards. So we just got to deal with it. But overall, yeah, I'm proud of what our guys did this year. And I think it really helps us in terms of, leading into this coming season. But thank you all for all your coverage and really appreciate everybody.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.